Feels good. You know, it was a chance to get off the road recruiting and actually just dive back into football and get together and get to work and put together the plan as a staff. You know, everybody's contributing. It seems like there's good excitement out here. I practice every day. You know, Cole's taking ownership of the plan. So it's been good practice so far.
Since you guys have taken the reins, knowing that Cole's the guy, what's been your message to him to try to maybe boost his confidence a little bit, knowing that he is the guy going to the bowl game?
Well, just pointing out the things that he's done in the past. You know, he's had success in the past. And when he knows that it's his ship, you know, he's prepared well, and he went out and performed. So the biggest thing is just building confidence that you can go out and this is your game to leave your legacy, and just putting the plan and putting things in place for him to be successful. But you know, everyone's been rallying around him. You know, he's been stepping forward as a leader, and he's taking ownership of the plan. And he has good excitement, good tempo, so it's been good.
To a man, we've heard rejuvenation, excitement, things like that come from the offensive players. Do you see yourself and maybe Jeff having a role in that and sort of taking that role and maybe lighting a fire under some guys? Or what do you attribute that to?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that their own, you know, have been promoted, and they're all Clemson guys, and so that just, you know, just further fuels the fire and the passion to be a Tiger, because they see that Jeff and myself, are Clemson grads, have been here, and that coach has stayed true to his word of how he wants to build a culture within the program. And then again, you know, sometimes change is good. New voices, they get a chance to hear from us more. So I think it's just a combination of a new voice and then just the fact that they got Clemson guys, and we're all in.
That first day out of practice as a coordinator, did you take a second to kind of look around and kind of say wow a little bit?
Well, you know, as fast as we go with the tempo that we practice at, it was a little bit difficult to do that. But you know, after that first practice, just to sit back and you're like, okay, now this is a little bit different role, and now you kind of see and understand the things that you would see Coach Morris do throughout the week in the preparation process. Now that you're sitting in this seat, you kind of understand and have a better feel for it.
How do you juggle both the offensive coordinator and the running back coach's roles during practice?
You know, during practice, you know, it's a little bit tough at times, but what I did, I told the running backs that, you know, just as I assume more responsibility, they have to assume more responsibility in practice. And so, you know, we set the rotation, but, you know, as the running back coach in preparation for an opportunity, you know, prior to me being in this position with Coach Morris at the helm, I was still trying to make sure that I was watching everything and having an understanding in the field. So it's a little bit more responsibility, but I've kind of asked the running backs to step up as well and help me as we transition.
How's Brandon Streeter fit in with the staff so far?
Oh man, Brandon Streeter's great. You know, obviously he's a Clemson guy, so we already had that connection. And I knew Streeter prior to, you know, him coming back here. We didn't play together; we just missed each other. But throughout the years in the coaching profession, you have clinics and opportunities to get together. We've recruited the same area. We've got a similar demeanor. You know, off the field, you know, we're kind of reserved and laid back. When we step on the field, got a lot of intensity. He's a great technician, and then he's been in the seat that I'm now sitting in, and so he's been a big help to me. You know, because he's, you know, I'm able to bounce ideas off of him as a coordinator and say, okay, am I thinking the right way? You know, how would you do it? He's able to help me, you know, as we actually help us all, you know, because we put the plan together.
Tony, how much of a challenge is this going to be for the offensive line going up against pretty stout front?
Oh, it's going to be a challenge, but the great thing is, you know, they get to practice against, you know, probably the best front in all of college football. So they won't see a different speed. Now the scheme will be a little bit different. So obviously we got to continue to work that. But in terms of the types of players, this is Oklahoma, so it's going to be very similar to what they see every day in practice.
You and Jeff sharing the role, those responsibilities, how they break down. What's been your chemistry like the first few days in practice?
You know, it's been great. You know, we put together a plan of how we wanted to actually implement it in practice. But in terms of off the field, it's been very similar to what we did, you know, when Coach Morris was here. Because again, as we got through that first year, we started to divvy up the responsibility. And again, we didn't want to go back and change everything, you know, with us being on the road and not having an opportunity to talk about it. So it's been pretty much the same as it's been. Now on the field, obviously we work well together. You know, we divvy up that responsibility. The areas where he has the strengths, I say, okay, you take the lead here. The areas where I might have a little bit of strength, you know, he lets me take the lead. But again, we're constantly communicating because again, at the end of the day, we just want to put the young man in a position to be successful.
Tony, obviously it's been kind of an erratic season for Cole Stout at quarterback. Do you feel like now that he's the guy, he knows he's the guy for this game, is there a different sense about him, almost like a final shot at redemption for him?
But I believe that he understands, you know, not just for him, but, you know, how big this game is for Clemson. Because you're playing against the University of Oklahoma, who I believe Coach said since 1946, the winningest program in all of college football. And so this is an opportunity for us, to make a statement. We believe that we got the foundation of the program where it needs to be, and to take that next step, you got to go out and win a game like this. And like I said before Cole stepped in, and when Deshaun was hurt, and he won football games for us, so he knows how to win. The biggest thing is just building that confidence back up. But I think with him knowing that this is his show, he's taking ownership, and then the guys, like you say, that new energy, that rejuvenation, the guys are rallying around him, and so I think that's the combination that's going to propel him forward to go out and play well.
With the way their front seven